尋味米芝蓮咧一直都係我哋嘅摘星之旅嘅，咁1星、2星。
而今日有 Jeannie 我喺度，當然係摘3星啦。今日試嘅呢間 Amber 餐廳已經連續16年摘2星，而今年2025年啦，更加晉升為3星喎。而我聽過 Amber 咧，除咗可以享受到美食同埋可以睇到好靚嘅裝潢之外咧，其實成個體驗都好豐富㗎喎。
嗱，一講開體驗咧，我就想講下啦。我哋可以咧走去廚房，體驗到廚師團隊咧同喺我哋面前咧做菜啦，同埋烹調嘅，同埋介紹菜式嘅。
好正喎！可以參觀米芝蓮3星嘅廚房，我覺得真係一個好難忘嘅體驗。咁但係咪因為陳師傅你大駕光臨，所以先有咁樣嘅待遇咧？
唔係嘅。嗱，只要客人咧訂咗中午啦同埋晚餐啦一啲特定嘅體驗咧，咁就可以入到廚房睇團隊咧去為我哋烹調美食嘅。
咁不如我哋快啲入去享受一下咯喎！
好啦，走啦。
Hello, my name is Richard Eckebus. I'm the Director of Culinary Operations of Amber at the landmark Mandarin Oriental in Hong Kong. I think that every chef I've worked with have contributed something into who I am today, but I think the most profound impact was Robert Kranenborg, who was my last mentor in Holland, and he also pursued me to go to France and further improve my skills. He really taught me the importance of transmission of knowledge, sharing knowledge, and that through that you become a much stronger team. I think I come from a Nordic country, so in the north of Europe we are already quite ahead in terms of sustainability, and it's awareness that is probably much more rooted within society for many decennia. But when I came to Hong Kong, I was of course very impressed by the opulence of this city, you know, the skyliners, the love for food, but also the hunger for animal proteins, the lack of waste management solutions. And for me, it was key that within our operation, I would lead by example. And through that, we have changed year on year over the past 20 years our sustainability efforts in making sure that we were reducing carbon emissions, but also reducing waste output. My favorite food in Hong Kong must be dim sum, because the way the craft and the art of making dim sum, the variety of texture and flavor is, in my opinion, one of the most unique foods in the world. I think it is a real heritage food of Hong Kong and China. Well, actually, it was a list of items I wanted to improve. It was not just one thing. After the ceremony, I went to my hotel room because I was cooking at the event, and of course very satisfied, but could not get to sleep. And while I was sitting on my bed, I was making a mental list of items that I think we need to improve. So of course, I think also there's structural changes we can improve to improve the experience. For me, a restaurant experience and even a 3 Michelin star experience is not just only about the food, it's about the overall experience, you know, from the entry into the restaurant to being seated, the service received, the music, the ambience, even the acoustics, everything is important. So I have a very important list of items that I think we need to change structurally, and we are planning some improvements for the restaurant. But culinary-wise, yes, we were already thinking a long time about maybe reducing the menu slightly. We feel that the menu is, for these modern times, maybe too big. We feel that people more and more are in a hurry and have less time to really indulge for 3 to 4 hours. So we want to reduce slightly the menu and the structure of the menu to make it much more of a journey and to make it much more engaging for our guests. So I think that's the most important change we will make in the weeks and months to come. Well, that was a process. I mean, we have been working on this for more than 10 years, you know, so this was not something we started 6 years ago with the renovation. We were working years prior to that on that concept. And it was mainly because we often notice in a restaurant that people struggle after they had the cheese course, then after they had less appetite for desserts because they felt the desserts were heavy and indulgent but heavy because of the usage of cream and butter. And we thought, okay, if we would eliminate the cheese course and we would make the dessert lighter by eliminating dairy, so butter, cream, and refined flours and refined sugars, could we then still obtain the same indulgence? And we actually did that for about 1 year without telling our guests. And nobody told, oh, it's less creamy or it's less indulgent. So then we thought, if we can do this with desserts, we might be able to do this with the entire menu. So then we really made the radical choice of we will eliminate fully dairy in our menus. But it comes primarily from the reason that in Asia, 70% of our guests are also lactose intolerant. Asians are, per definition, lactose intolerant. On top of that, I was struggling with heavy meals after living for quite a long time in Asia and eating Cantonese food and Japanese food and not having the same feeling after a meal as when I went to a French restaurant. And I felt that it was important that people leave the table feeling energized, not feeling tired and having a food coma. It was not very difficult to convince either my guest or my team. My team, of course, have trusted me. We have built a relation of trust over many years. And our guests, they just want an incredible, indulgent meal. So for us, that was very natural and organic. But the whole development, that took significantly longer time. 10 years ago, I introduced the idea to my team to go completely dairy-free. And of course, initially, the pastry chef was really worried because to make a dessert without cream, butter, and refined flours and refined sugars might be a daunting task. But when we started to elaborate on the concept and to work with the ideas, we actually saw there was a lot of new possibilities that opened. And we did this really primarily because 70% of our guests are lactose intolerant. And also because I struggled with the heaviness of French food. I would feel sometimes very overindulgent after a meal in a French restaurant. Not the same feeling as I would have in a Japanese or Cantonese restaurant. So I think that wisdom of being 10 years in Asia and leaving the table feeling comfortable, I wanted to apply that into our French cooking. Well, operating a business responsibly has many cost factors, but it also has a lot of uptakes. For example, we started this restaurant really focused on how can we utilize natural resources better by having energy efficient light bulbs, having energy efficient air conditioning, having water efficient taps. By that, you would save money. So if you would save money on one side, but spend more on products that per definition are a little bit more expensive, and that can be up to 15 to 30% if you want to source ethically coffee, tea, cage-free eggs, ethical sourced seafoods, hormone-free animal proteins, you will find a balance within the business structure. So maybe where on one side you would spend a little bit less, and the other side you spend a little bit more. At the end, you need to find that right balance where you have a healthy business, where you're not too expensive, where you still give value to the guests, but at the same time you deliver products where you can be very confident that it is being ethically sourced and well managed from the moment that it's been farmed to the moment it has arrived to our table. So we communicate through our storytelling at the table, but also in our menu, we have a little introduction on our sustainability efforts. There's also a QR code where people can go to a document that we have established, which is, I think now at the moment about 22 pages long, where we basically explain all our efforts. And our efforts are built under a structure where we have 3 pillars. So we have sourcing, we have social, so what we do for our community, but also of our community of our team, and what we do with natural resources. So our efforts are spread under these 3 pillars and very clearly established within this document. And a lot of people click through or save it to read it later, but sometimes also read it in the restaurant and are really surprised with the responsibility actions that we have put in place in our operations. Well, the standards of Michelin Green Star are not public. We don't know. You submit your sustainability efforts, and Michelin, based on that, will award you a Green Michelin star. But nobody knows what the criteria are for the Green Star. So I would not be able to say what we are doing or what we're not doing that was the tipping point for the Green Star. But in my opinion, the fact that food is responsible for one third of our emission globally, I think that definitely we as the industry have a role to play in improving the reduction of global emissions, because we are part of the problem, so to speak, in the hospitality industry. Food contributes such a large percentage to global emissions that we have to change the way we use our products better to its full potential, the way we manage our waste more responsibly, how we find circular systems within our operations, so with our farmers and with our purveyors, to return certain packaging or certain products or buy parts of products to turn it back into reusable commodities. So I think we have a real role to play in the problem of global warming. Of course, for us it has been a journey of 20 years. If you might want to implement everything in a very short period of time, that might be very daunting and very complicated. But to start, for example, with the most important part is being responsible in how you manage waste and using the ingredients to its full potential without too much waste is already a very good start. And I think that is also an economic start. It also enables you to save money if you operate in that way responsibly. So if we can do it, we are part of a public listed company. We have to give shareholder value. We need to deliver a healthy profit. So if we are able to do it, then every other business in Hong Kong can do it. But you need to have the passion and some people that are passionate about the subject, that drive that within the four walls of the business. And in this hotel, I have been always a big advocate, but today I have pollinated that sort of desire in many of my team members. And actually today I'm more of the vision within the sustainability efforts. And we have now King, who runs all the sustainability within our hotel. And, so you need to find the right team members to drive it. I always believe that to drive sustainability effectively is not about one person want to make change. It's about driving change through a large group of people. And even if it's not always perfect, that's better than great efforts by one single person. So the force of more is definitely important in your sustainability efforts. I will not feature any endangered species on my menu. So anything that is endangered would not find its place on my menu. For the simple reason is that biodiversity is very important to the planet. We have all understood now that sharks are not the nasty fish that are in the ocean. They are key in the ecosystem of our oceans, and the apex predator is necessary to eliminate sick fish and weak fish from the chain. So the fact that we are eating in Hong Kong less shark fin, and that's also now spreading to China, is a very important step, in my opinion, to reduce the amount of sharks being caught for the pleasure of eating something that is rather tasteless, that is shark's fin. So I think shark's fin will definitely never feature on my menu until we come to the point that it is fully restored and it would be sustainable to eat it again. But we are far away from that. And I think in my lifetime, I will not see that, so it will not feature my menus anytime soon.
我好期待我哋個頭盤啊！
哇，師傅啊，嚟到米芝蓮3星嘅餐廳啦，我都好緊張啊！
唔使緊張，我哋食就得啦。
Hello，你好。咁呢邊咧亦都有我哋餐廳嘅一個 iconic dish 嘅成名菜嚟嘅。咁呢個咧會係阿卡烏尼赤海膽，嚟自翻北海道。底下面會配搭翻一個椰菜花做嘅 mousse。龍蝦湯嘅 jelly， 最上面係一個頂級嘅魚子醬，旁邊配搭翻我哋嘅一個 seaweed cracker 海草薄脆。咁我哋建議食嘅時候啦，要包到最大啦，每一個層次都享用得到，再配搭翻呢個紫菜薄脆一齊享用嘅。整晚用 ，thank you。Thank
you。
你知唔知我定咗型點解？
點解啊？
因為呢個藝術品嚟嘅。
唔係，其實咧，基本上咧，你淨係 post， 譬如你 social media 咧，你淨係影呢一個菜咧，大家都知，誒。你今日去咗 Amber， 因為係一個好 signature、好標誌性嘅菜式啊。 嗱，我頭先咧，我已經有聽過呢個餐廳嘅同事講㗎啦。基本上個擺盤咧，即係一定好靚啦，同埋好有意思嘅喎。即係原來咧，佢哋會根據翻成間餐廳嘅裝潢啦、擺設啦，去配合翻㗎。
冇錯，食都講究喺中間，慢慢畢落去，因為咧，我哋要講求呢個平衡。
滿滿嘅魚子醬啊！非常之豐富，見唔見到啊？首先係魚子醬啦，中間海膽啦，然後見到個龍蝦凍，再有埋呢一個椰菜花整成嘅一個 mousse。我覺得食魚子醬最好嗰個感覺就係咩咧？喺個口腔裏邊慢慢等佢融化，等佢嗰個我哋嘅香味啊、鹹味啊咁樣慢慢滲透嗰個口腔裏面。好好食啊，師傅！哇，啱啱咧一入口咧，因為我係先食到魚子醬佢嗰個鹹香味啦，好好食。然之後咧，佢再加入埋咧有即係龍蝦嘅嗰種鮮味，再配合埋個海膽嗰種甜味咧，哇！每一樣咧，你唔會覺得有樣嘢特別突出嘅，你反而覺得每一個味道嘅好處咧，佢都包含晒喺入面咯。仲有啊，師傅，我見到中間咧都有個脆片咧，係咪可以配合埋呢道菜一齊享用㗎？嗱，呢個就係用咗海草嚟做嘅一個脆片，我試下嘛。哇，聽到一聲脆卜卜嘅喎！一定要啦！師傅唔係應該係配合埋呢個魚子醬一齊食嘅咩？試咗原味先，跟住先再畢落去。咦，同埋師傅，我聽講咧呢道菜啦，係冇加奶喺入邊嘅喎。冇錯，但係咧，我要講啦，陣間我講呢句説話咧，大家可能要聽清楚啊。係嚇，叫做豎起耳仔。冇奶革命。哦，即係冇擺奶喺入面嘅。冇錯啦，就你真係唔好講歪咗音嚇。OK，咁嗱。佢冇咗奶啦，佢喺19年咧，佢就做咗呢個咁有意義嘅事啦。咁佢用乜嘢去代替咗啲牛奶啊、牛油呢樣嘢去做咧？佢原來咧係用咗大豆嚇，跟住再去研發咗出嚟咧，就代替咗奶類。同埋咧，我都知呢一個嘅椰菜花，即係大家睇落去，咦，好 creamy，一定有奶啦。其實係用椰子油嘅喎，又試下。椰子油咧，佢本身咧又健康啦。又有香味喺度啦，同埋咧好滑嗰種咁嘅感覺。哇！我自己咧係比較中意呢個魚子醬，再配合埋呢個脆片，因為咧呢一道菜咧，佢基本上全部咧都係個口感咧係比較腍嘅，再加埋呢個脆片咧，又多咗一個層次，同埋咧又帶出埋佢嗰個海草嘅鮮味咧，更加豐富喎。我淨係形容呢個係佢係充滿呢個海洋嗰個感覺咯，由呢個海底裏邊嘅海草，再海膽，再龍蝦，跟住再魚子醬，呢個頭盤，我覺得係無敵。一道前菜咧就已經可以見到總廚對食物配搭嘅創意、心血同埋心機啊！嗱，Jeannie啊，我帶你去見總廚好冇？梗係好啦。
OK 嘛，兩位嘢食方面蘇翻滿意嘛？
好正。咁
就好啦。咁嚟緊下一道菜啦，因為兩位嗌咗我哋嘅呢個 Full Amber Experience 嘅體驗啦。咁你哋下一道菜會入去廚房入面食嘅，我哋叫做 Kitchen Experience， 亦都會經過翻我哋嘅一個照片廊嘅。如果兩位 ready 嘅話，我哋行啦。好啊，師傅。好。首先歡迎入到嚟我哋 Service Corridor 嘅一個走廊嘅地方啦。咁呢邊咧都會有好多照片嘅，我哋都會係呢邊都係世界上非常之出名嘅一啲星級名廚啦。你見到佢哋張相都好似明星咁樣嘅。佢哋之前係一齊嚟過 Amber 餐廳，同我哋總廚 Richard Ackabus 會有啲聯手嘅晚宴，我哋叫做 Four Hands Dinner 嘅。呢邊咧比較特別啲，咁你都會係比較近期啲，我哋邀請過嘅一啲廚師啦。呢張相會着重介紹我哋叫做 Alumni Dinner 校友嘅一個晚餐咁嘅。咁呢邊咧其實都會係之前喺 Amber 工作過嘅廚師，佢哋咧之前係咁佢哋就畢業之後啦，或者係我哋離開咗 Amber 之後啦，會有佢哋開咗自己嘅餐廳，有佢哋各自嘅成就。咁2023年嘅時候，我哋邀請晒佢哋翻嚟啦，同我哋總廚會有個聯手嘅晚宴嘅，係啦。歡迎嚟到我哋嘅廚房。咁入到嚟我哋廚房啦，呢邊你見到有條魚啦，咁係我哋總廚好中意嘅一個食材，叫做阿卡阿瑪大赤金鯛魚。 咁呢邊都會見到寫住春夏秋冬嘅，咁因為我哋餐廳好講究 seasonal 季節性，咁都會有呢啲字眼寫到上去嘅。呢邊請。好，咁呢邊咧都會有我哋一杯嘅 sparkling tea 喺廚房入邊享用嘅。咁呢個咧會係一個有氣嘅白牡丹茶。
哇，好得意喎！
牡丹喎。
好，咁稍等一陣，轉頭廚師幫你介紹個菜式。
好啊。
Thank you！咦，師傅，我哋使唔使享用一下先？多謝你今日帶我嚟啊！
好清喎。
好香茶香味喎，同埋咧個茶上面咧有啲泡泡嘅口感咧，嗰個層次又好得意喎。
冇錯，好滑嗰個感覺呢一個茶。
哇！頭先咧嗰個 appetizer 咧真係好正，唔知一陣間個主菜係點樣咧？
我答你，期待啊！
同埋咧都可以見到咧，就咁望其實個廚房咧都又大啦，又乾淨啦。
嗱，我形容咧好似一個學院裏邊，一個烹飪學院裏邊嘅教室一個廚房咁樣，好整齊啦，好乾淨啦，啊，同埋每一個廚師咧，佢哋自己都喺度做緊佢哋自己嘅份內事啦，呢個好好。
Hello, welcome Jenny. How are you? Welcome.
Thank you.
張師傅，
你好，哇，
Welcome to our kitchen.
Thank you. It's so clean, so spacious.
Yes, we built this kitchen not only to be a perfect work tool for our team, but also for our guests to feel very comfortable. Because every guest that comes to Amber and takes our big experience comes to the kitchen and have the hidden course that we will prepare in front of them. So it's always a highlight for most of our guests to come to the kitchen. And they're actually really surprised that we have such a big team to run a restaurant of the size of Amber. They think I am sweating in the back with 2 guys, but it takes quite an army of people.
Yes, how many people in here?
We have altogether 70 chefs, but in any given shift, we have about 28 chefs on duty. And then these are the areas where we do the service and of course a little bit of production. And it's all divided in different stations. So it's not very like a conventional French kitchen. It's a little bit different. It's the Richard Eckerbus style of running a kitchen. Yeah. But we're very proud for the guests to come to the kitchen and to discover, you know, the work it takes, the craftsmanship and the discipline to run a restaurant of this caliber.
Hey, so what is the main course today?
So we're gonna do for you a toothfish dish that we have prepared. So Chef Terry, our chef de cuisine, will prepare it in front of you and will explain the dish and all the stages of the preparation. But maybe Sifu Chan can come with me and already see some of the preparations we are doing in the kitchen. So we have different stations. You can come this way. We have different stations, and the dish you will enjoy is a fish dish. So we use toothfish that is being caught in the southern hemisphere. So it's very cold waters, and the fish is very fatty. So we're gonna cook it in a special way. We prepare it in a special way. We cut it up in small pieces, and then we're gonna use a technique, which is a Japanese technique, which we cure the fish on kombu with seaweed. So we extract the excess moisture, but we give the fish a lot of umami. So we're gonna cook that very, very delicately in an oil bath, and then we prepare it on the kombu for you, and we serve it at a sauce and a green asparagus, because it's the season of the green asparagus right now that we have from France. It's organic asparagus that we buy from France. And the team is right now trimming them as we speak. You see, it's a lot of work. It's very intricate to prepare these asparagus, because we do not only peel them, we also trim them in a special angle. You see, like this. So we first take off all the skins, then we peel it, and then we trim it to it become a perfect looking asparagus, like perfect angle.
Oh, like an art.
Well, cooking is of course all about taste and texture, but also the eye is very important. When people come to a restaurant like ours, they accept a beautiful presentation. So we put a lot of effort in the details of the presentation. So it's small details, but all together make a big difference.
So nice.
So we cook the asparagus on the binchotam. So it's a very traditional technique. And through that, we really get a very crunchy asparagus, but it has a beautiful smoky flavor after that. Normally we cook it in water, but then we rinse the asparagus. By cooking it on charcoal, we really feel that we have much more flavor, much more intensity, and we lose a little bit of the moisture, so we have a more beautiful, denser texture of the asparagus. And then the fish we are cooking. You see, we use special bath, which is an oil bath. And you see the fish is cured with the kombu, with the seaweeds. And like I said, it's to extract the moisture, but also to give a lot of umami. And also you see we cut the fish in small pieces because a toothfish, there's many parts in the toothfish, some very fatty parts, some leaner parts, and by cutting it in small pieces, every portion has the same amount of fattiness and leanness. So we really have a much more, and it looks like a marbled piece of fish, so it's also very pretty. So we cooked it in a very delicate manner in the oil, and we keep a very succulent piece of fish after this. So if you're ready, we can invite you, and then Chef Terry will prepare for you the dish in front of you, and then you will enjoy and see if the beauty also translates in great taste.
Wow, it's our honor.
Thank you. Thank you. Please.
Hello， 我係 Terry。咁接落嚟咧，我會介紹呢個 dish。咁我會喺個面前 present 呢個 dish。
哇！
咁呢個一個咧係一個法國嘅一個 toothfish 啦。咁嚟嘅時候咧，其實好似啱阿 Chef Fisher 介紹咗啦。咁其實咧，我哋用一啲昆布咧去cure 咗先啦。咁佢叫昆布滋味，即係呢個昆布漬。咁醃完之後咧，我哋將一啲seaweed 嘅 powder， 咁再powder 埋佢，再將唔同嘅部位咁放埋一齊。咁你食落去嘅時候咧，就會有唔同嘅一個 texture 喺度咯。配搭嘅咧係一啲法國時令嘅一個魯筍啦。咁 green asparagus 個 stem 嗰個部位咧，我哋將佢做一個 puree， 咁俾翻啲 creamy 啲嘅 texture 落去。
我想問下啦，嗰個 sauce 係咪特登都係用綠色嘅咧？
係啊，其實做翻嗰個 frame 就係同一個 tone 嘅顏色，會望落去好似比較多啲層次咁，可能有啲深色啊或者淺色嘅。咁同埋點解要用翻個 stem 咧？係因為我哋餐廳咧係一間sustainable 嘅一間餐廳啦。咁所有嘅end 嘅 part 咧，我哋都留翻嚟做 puree， 咁就唔會話嘥咗佢咁樣咯。咁有時候我哋餐廳就會用一啲做發酵或者做咗 kombucha， 就唔會嘥咗佢咯。咁然之後咧，上邊嘅蘆筍咧，我哋就炭燒咗佢啦。咁然之後有翻啲 smoky 啲嘅味道。
哇！
我聽講咧，佢嗰個發酵技術都係你哋自己嘅獨特之處喎。
係啦，咁sauce 咧，咁就一啲我哋冇用 dairy， 咁我哋就一啲腰果發酵咗 lacto fermentation， 即係一啲叫做乳酸發酵。咁然之後咧，就將佢打咗溶。咁再加咗一啲用椰子油去 emulsify， 即係乳化咗，就變咗一個 nuts 嘅牛油咯。咁因為 for 一啲冇 dairy 嘅，咁其實亞洲地區或者香港好多人都係對 lactose 係敏感㗎嘛。係。咁呢個係個 sauce 啦，咁然之後咧，仲有啲香檳，我哋將佢 reduce 咗佢，咁然之後咧加埋入去，咁其實有啲似叫做 beurre blanc 法國菜嘅一個 sauce 叫 beurre blanc， 咁係一啲 wine reduction， 然之後咧再加啲牛油去做一個 sauce 咯。咁我哋就用咗 nuts 嘅 butter 去 instead of 一個真嘅牛油。咁然之後咧入邊咧仲有啲鱈魚子啦，咁同埋一啲自己 homemade 嘅一個couscous， 咁 couscous 即係胡椒。即係柚子胡椒，咁我哋就用咗啲特別啲嘅柚子，咁就自己 homemade 咗佢。咁同埋嗰啲本身個 sauce 入邊咧會有少少 pepper 嘅，咁個 pepper 都係乳酸發酵咗佢。咁其實就酸酸地咁配搭翻一個偏油膩嘅 fish 咯。
柚子胡椒啊，佢嘅獨特之處喺邊度咧？
酸同埋辣味，咁佢有少少辣味喺度，所以個 sauce 都有少少辣。咁食落去就有葱嘅香味啦，同埋辣味，同埋本身啲 wine reduce 完之後有少少酸味咁。餐具咧會喺個台嘅下邊有個櫃桶。哦，呢度都有一個係。
呢個好特別喎。
好講究。
Thank you，enjoy。
好啦，我哋飲翻杯先，我哋好期待。
主菜。
清清嘅味蕾係嘛？跟住我哋試下好嘛？
好靚啊！特別咧，我覺得呢個鱈魚好講究咯，因為咧佢係每一個位置啦，其實佢係特登用海藻黐埋一嚿。係。好精緻啊！
我試下好嘛？
好啊，大啖。一個魚嘅油香，好好食。
同埋個海藻嗰個味道咧，都慢慢滲透出嚟嘅。
同埋咧都要同大家去講咧，其實今次呢個鱈魚啦係有呢個 MSC， 即係呢個可持續發展嘅認證。咩意思咧？即係話咧，其實魚業同埋魚類咧都要喺一個受保護、不受破壞之下嘅。所以我覺得咧，其實呢一間餐廳咧，佢做喺環保同埋可持續方面做得好好咯。
係。我試下個汁先。
要試下個蘆筍喎。
頭先 Chef 講咧，個蘆筍咧佢哋都揀過嘅。
同埋我見到呢個蘆筍咧，其實咧佢係咪算唔算係煙燻完咧？即係佢擺上去有燒一燒咁樣。
炭燒咯，我覺得我形容呢一個就係。
我覺得咧令到嗰個蘆筍嘅味道咧更加突出啦，同埋咧配上呢個醬咧好 rich 啊。
呢個醬嗱，我哋以前都有做嘅。呢個醬我試一試先。哦，佢用翻蘆筍啊，去慢慢再去打翻一個咁滑嘅醬出嚟咯。
好正。可以講下我汁。哇！師傅你真係要試下呢個綠色嘅醬汁，完全咧係食到腰果咧嗰個油香嘅味道啊，好豐富啊！如何啊？
哇！要抹一抹嘴。
流晒口水啊，係嘛？
呢個醬喺口腔裏邊咧，佢完全可以充分發揮咗嗰個腰果啦，同埋牛油果嗰個滑啊、香啊。我覺得佢應該有烘過咧，跟住先至打出嚟嘅，先可以做咗個效果嘅。好啦，咁呢一次我哋嘅頭盤介紹到呢下啦，因為太好食啦。嗱，主菜都食完啦，你最期待嘅係咩咧？
哇，講到法國菜唔係唔食甜品啊嘛，師傅。
你講得啱。阿威
，Where are you？
希望兩位都喜歡我哋呢個 Kitchen Experience 嘅廚房體驗啦。
我唔想離開啊，其實。
係啦，你想食甜品啊嘛？
咁你喺度啦，我去食甜品。
我要食甜品，要食甜品。哇，好靚啊！
好，咁啊嚟到我哋甜品啦，咁呢個會係一個芒果嘅甜品啦，入邊配搭翻一啲嘅菠蘿、少少嘅咖喱粉同埋椰子嘅忌廉，旁邊會配搭翻一個發酵咗嘅金桔嘅雪糕，所以你見到會係一個黑色嘅雪巴啦。咁建議配搭埋個芒果嘅層次一齊享用。Thank you。
Thank you。
咖喱喎。
係咯，咁得意嘅。
都係第一次喺甜品裏邊。
究竟加埋咖喱會唔會好有違和感咧，師傅？
呢個咧好有夏天嗰個感覺喎。
係啊，我見到佢特登咧，即係有芒果、菠蘿，都係揀翻啲夏天嘅時令水果。
我感覺咧，佢嗰個層次，嗱佢有咖喱啦，有金桔啦，仲有啲嗰啲芒果，好複雜，但係非常之好味。
哇！但係我覺得咧，嗰個咖喱嗰個新香味咧，加埋芒果有少少酸酸甜甜個味道咧，其實係好 match 㗎喎。同埋你唔會覺得咧係兩種味道分開咯，即係佢係融埋一齊嘅喎。
我覺得幾種味道融埋一齊喎，啱啊！好，等我試下個雪巴先。
非常之 fresh。
呢個要擺喺口腔裏邊咧，係要慢慢融化佢，慢慢感覺佢嘅味道。
喜歡個甜品嘛？
好喜歡，層次好豐富啊！
咁就喜歡就好啦。
你係咪要趕我哋走啦 ，Ray？當
然未啦，其實仲未完嘅，呢度仲未係最後一道菜，我哋會仲有一個 Petit Four 餐後甜品嚟緊嘅。
哇！
好，咁嚟到我哋最後嘅 Petit Four 餐後小甜品。咁首先啦，按季節我哋都會有我哋嘅 seasonal 嘅 fruit platter。今次用緊啦會有夏威夷嘅一啲木瓜、台灣嘅牛奶果同埋一個日本嘅一啲枇杷添。跟住咧會有我哋嘅一個開心果嘅一個 tartlets， 入邊會配搭翻啲朱古力，上面係 cherry 嘅果醬。最後啦，嚟到我哋餐廳好 signature 嘅一個 Madeleine， 一個法式嘅小蛋糕。咁 gluten free、dairy free 嘅。咁今次嘅口味會係一啲味噌啦，同埋一個芝麻去做嘅。最後旁邊仲會準備一杯飲品去配搭翻個 Petit Four 嘅。咁今次啦，首先會加入去嘅會係一啲我哋青蘋果嘅汁啦，同埋一啲烏龍茶添。旁邊都會有我哋甜品部自己去做嘅一個 pear 雪梨嘅 jam。 咁然後我都會 shake 先嘅。
哇哦！
哇！呢個練臂力嘅喎。
阿 Ray 多才多藝啊！
Thank you。
哇！陳師傅其實今日真係好好嘅享受，除咗可以享用到美食之外啦，我哋又可以去睇一睇個廚房啦，仲見到阿 Ray 咧，哇！有一個好有畫面性嘅一個享受咧，真係好好啊！
嗱，但係咧，我形容呢一個咧，唔係你講咁瘦身嘅。
係咯，圖文不符啊 Ray，
係啊，
唔係小甜品喎，
逼波嚟嘅呢個。
呢個係 fat four 喎。
我添啊！
食完聽日唔可以食嘢。
Cheap
而家先嚟到甜品嘅主菜啊！
原來甜品嘅主菜就係呢個開始啦。
嗯，
咁好啦。
頭先咧，
好特別喎呢度，你睇。
同埋咧頭先一叉落去咧，已經 feel 到咧嗰個外皮咧係好脆啊，跟住但係吉入去咧係有種好鬆軟嘅感覺。
試下先。
好，同埋咧我就未食咧喺呢一個位咧已經聞到嗰個蛋糕嘅香味咯喎。
真係叫咩咧？外邊好鬆啊，好脆嗰個感覺，同埋好香啊。
係咯，因為平時咧我反而好少係食到芝麻嘅味道，但係呢一個咧個芝麻味好突出喎，同埋入邊咧真係好鬆軟。
冇錯。
喂，其實近年咧開心果真係非常之 hit 喎，好靚啊，好有層次啊！我好中意咧呢間餐廳咧，佢所有嘅食品咧，都好似成為一個藝術品咁樣咯。
我研究緊佢點樣可以一層一層咁樣搭上嚟啦嚇，做得好精緻。呢啲應該啱啱好。
點樣啊？非常之滑。跟住咧，我發覺上面咧咪有一塊嘅朱古力嘅，好香濃。跟住配搭埋下面咧，其實咧可以睇下咧，佢出邊咧就係有開心果啦，但係其實入邊咧都包住咗嗰個朱古力咧，好香濃啊！
呢種食法咧太女士，你應該咧下一次有機會成個擺喺個口腔裏邊，係一層慢慢溶落去，裏邊咧朱古力啊。有少少脆啊，咁樣完全係有個酒香嗰個感覺喺度添。
今日咧真係多謝晒陳師傅啦，帶咗我嚟一個真係我覺得係裝潢又好靚啦，跟住食物又好精緻啦，跟住仲有一個好好嘅體驗。多謝晒陳師傅。
嗱，唔多謝嗱。我覺得咧一間咁高質嘅米芝蓮餐廳咧，佢對食物嘅要求啦非常之高，同埋咧佢對一個永續啊係好堅持嘅，所以咧我越嚟越愛 Amber 啊！
我都愛你啊，師傅。
多謝
Cheers！
好啦，又係到我哋最重要嘅時刻啦。咁啊，我哋各位觀眾記得啊關注我哋聰娛樂，同埋咧記得點讚、分享，仲有一樣嘢，撳埋我隔離個啷啷啦。
好，咁我哋下次再見啦喎，拜拜。